As we talk about you best believe that there are some things that Christ has set out for you. And he set those things for you, and we need to remember those things. So one of the first things I'll say is that you need to embrace what you know. You need to embrace what you know. As a member of this church, think about it. If you've been here for a while, and I think everybody has been here for a while, and if you've been here even for a short-term time, one of the things that you should know by now is that Liberty Hill is strong on its belief in the Bible. We believe that the Word is important. I'm committed to that. I believe that we should be strong in the Word. Now, there's a lot of things we might not be strong in, but the Word is one of those things that we should be strong in. Amen. We should believe it. Yes. We should know it. We should study it. Because it is life for us. It is the main thing. How can you say you're a Christian if you don't believe and trust the Word? Amen. Now let me tell you that if you are a member of this church and you've been sitting here week after week, Sister Jeray, and the Word is being preached, there's one thing that the enemy does not want you to have. And I'm not going to say enemy, I'm going to put it just like this. You know what the devil don't want you to have is the Word. Amen. As long as the devil can separate you from the Word, he will. Yes, yes. And he will do it in any way he can. He will separate you through, I don't even know what that thing is called, them little squares that people play with the colors you got to match up. On Candy Crush, yeah, there you go. He'll separate you with Candy Crush. He'll separate you with Facebook, whatever he can during worship. He'll separate you in some churches where you have so much long service before the preacher come out, where people are just completely asleep on Sunday by the time the sermon comes, because he don't want you to hear the Word. That's the thing that he's trying to separate you from. Amen. So let's first understand an expectation. So here's one of the expectations that you need to think about. The expectation is that the devil will rob you of the Word anytime he can. Just have that as an expectation. Anytime the devil can rob you of the Word, he'll do it. He'll have your mind in every place but on the Word. In this church, let's talk about what you know. You know God's Word. You know what Christ has for you. In some churches, they told you, say, okay, time for church. Let's catch the Holy Ghost so we can go home. Some churches, they told you you're going to hell if you drink a glass of wine. I told you, sorry, you're not going to hell if you drink a glass of wine. I did tell you, on the other hand, that Jesus said that he was going to separate based on 5 or 6 things that you do. And that is that you take in the stranger, you feed the hungry, you give relief to the thirsty, you clothe the naked, you visit the sick and the prison. That's straight out of the text. That is Matthew chapter 25. You want to know how to behave? He told you, love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. Love your neighbor as yourself. He said, go ye therefore, teach all nations, baptize in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, teaching them to observe all things. And these are things that Christ said, not me. And these are things that he told us to do. I visited a lot of churches, and I still visit just to see what's going on in other places. And I'm telling you, a lot of times I do not hear the truth. I hear a truth. I don't hear the truth. Amen. The truth comes out of the text. And the truth oftentimes is not sexy. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? The truth is not sexy. It's not something that people don't want the truth. Because again, remember the expectation. The devil will separate you from the Word anytime he can. You don't want the truth. People want the sexy, but not the truth. When the truth came to town, they hung him on a cross, bled him, and buried him. So that'll tell you what the world thinks about the truth. So the truth, Christ tells us, you know that. You also know, let me now pull a chain that I don't normally pull, Brother Kerry, but the fact is, I've given you the truth. I'll stand on that. I've given you the truth. I got proof. If the Lord asked me, I say, I'll take you to youtube.com/LHB Columbus. Listen to the sermons and you'll hear the truth. I don't preach all over the Bible. I don't give you 10 different books on Sunday. I don't give you 15 different verses. I stick to the same book, same chapter, verse by verse. You can follow, you put your finger there and keep on moving. Ain't gave you nothing but the truth. Tell it to you every Sunday. Here it is. And you can follow it along. I don't have you all over the place trying to confuse you. Give you 5 words out of this verse, 10 words out of that verse. You got it right there in the Word. Every Sunday you can open your Bible, you can find my scripture that I'm preaching from right in your Bible. There's nowhere else. I don't preach out of other people's books. Because I've been to them churches too, where somebody was doing a book club on Sunday morning. What Aristotle had to say, what Plato had to say. Now we talking about the Word. And so you know that. Now let's talk about history. This church has come a long way.
Amen. Amen.
Anybody know our history, you know that the miraculous has happened in this church.
Yes.
It ain't nothing but the miracles, because it's not our sensibility. Brother Saunders and I looked through those windows about 8 years ago, and he looked at me and said, I see it, but I don't know where the money is. And I watched the Lord take a remnant and bring them here and keep them here for the last 8 years. You are blessed people. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Amen.
Because some people are still trying to figure out how we've survived this long. They said we weren't going to make it, Sister Manwood. Some of them still waiting for the doors to close. They're waiting. Now that's a shame, because you would think that it was the devil waiting. But it's the devil in sheep clothes, this other church folks waiting for this church to close. Isn't that amazing? And look around. We still here.
Amen. Hallelujah. Yes.
What you know is this, Deacon Palmer. If this church survives on 10% of your income, then your 90 must look pretty good. Oh, maybe you didn't catch it. Brother Saunders, if this church survives on 10% of your income, then your 90% must look pretty good.
Yes.
And so when God gets ready to bless this church, who does he bless first? He's blessing you. And he's blessing you over and over again. And guess what? I know some churches, I've been there, Brother Don, where they said, come on, give a seed. Come on, give your money now and you'll be blessed later. I ain't never said that. Anybody ever heard me say that? I ain't never said that. I ain't never said, come on, bring your money in now and you'll be blessed later. I've worked on the, and what I say, Sister Whitney, I got my commercial.
Don't y'all give y'all milk money.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not saying that. Don't give you milk money. So I've never asked you to give before you get the blessing. The only thing I've ever asked this church to do is be responsible in terms of what the Word says.
Yes.
He'll give it to you. Take 10% of it and give it to the church.
Yes.
That's all I've asked you. And so, I think that that's something that you can embrace and know. I'm not shaking you down. I'm simply asking you, when the Lord blesses you, and I know that he will, I'm going to say it like the kids said, then run me my money. That's all I'm saying. Once you get the blessing, come on, bring what you're supposed to get. Because he's been blessing us. And so embrace what you know. The fact that he bless you. If you don't have nothing, then don't bring nothing. Just keep on coming till you get something. When you get something, you get $1, bring a dime. That's all it is. And the Lord has blessed this church on that. He's blessed us in spite of the fact sometimes people leave and I say, oh Lord, what's going to happen next? Now I'm getting ready to tell you something that is almost unbelievable, but it's true. Sister Lisa can tell you this. Deacon Arnetta Hodge can tell you this. Almost half of the money, or I want to say more than half of the money that comes into Liberty Hill every month does not even come from us. Try that out for size.
Yes.
Sister Reverend Haynes can tell you, I was sitting in my office one day, and Brother Smith, the man come in here, said, I want to see the pastor. She asked him, said, what do you want to see him for? He said, I got some money. So she come back there and she said, Pastor, you got time for a man that got some money out here? I said, sir. Come out there, that man put a stack of money so big on the table. And he said, I want to pay my tithes here at this church. He said, I've been working, and I work on Sundays, and I don't have a church home. I want this to be my church. I want to bring money here. And that man just kept bringing stacks of money here. And then one day, I don't know what, I didn't see him after a while, but he would just drop money off the church. You never see him. He disappeared, another man showed up. One man showed up one week, just drove up to the front of the church and started throwing money at the usher, so he had to go. And it happens all the time. It still happens. Money's still coming from places we don't even know where it comes from, other than we know that the Lord is doing it.
Hallelujah.
So you embrace what you know. I've often said that we don't have a flow problem, we have a reserve problem. I'm not so scared because we don't have a reserve problem, or that we have a reserve problem. Maybe you have that at your own home. Let me give you some expectation. Maybe you got money, but you can't keep no money. Some people like that. You got money, but you can't keep no money. Let me tell you something. The Israelites, that's what happened to them. God gave them manna every day. They never went hungry, but they still didn't have no reserves. And sometimes that has bothered me. I say, well, Lord, why can't we hold on to somebody, Brother Simon? We need to hold on to something.
Amen.
And do you know every time I get to complaining to the Lord, he said, but have I left you? See, how you going to complain when you just ate?
That's right.
See, sometimes we have a tendency to say, we just finished eating and say, well, Lord, where the next meal will come from?
Right.
Didn't you just eat? Worry about the next one when I get to you. I'll feed you. And so the Lord has been taking care of Liberty. We cannot complain about that. We need to embrace what we know. We've been blessed as a church historically. We've been blessed as a church biblically. So then Peter tells them, okay, you need to embrace what you know. You need to remember what you know. But then there's another piece of it. Look at verse 16, or around verse 16. Verse 16 there on your sheet. It says 16, 18. He says, we weren't, you know, just wishing on a star when we laid the facets out before you regarding the powerful return of our Master Jesus Christ. We were there for the preview. We saw it with our own eyes. Jesus, resplendent with light from God the Father, as the voice of majestic glory spoke, this is my Son, marked by my love, focused on all my delight. We were there on the holy mountain with him. We heard the voice out of heaven with our very own ears. You need to beware of the sensational. Because if you look, and maybe King James even shows it to you a little bit there in 16, for we have not followed cunning devised fables, when we made known unto you the power of the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ. We haven't brought you the sensation. That's the point. Beware of the sensation. I don't have to bring you no crazy story, because the fact that Christ has died and risen, that's enough right there. I mean, you don't need a whole lot of sensational stories other than to know that Christ has risen. I don't have to put on a light, and I don't have to put on a light show to make this thing real. We don't have to do that. There are some things that we must do, but then there's some things that we don't have to do until the Lord does it. It's just as simple as that. Liberty Hill, let's face it. Let's really get down to some expectations and some truth. Here's a truth about us. This is not a biblical truth. This is a truth about us that I've been trying to figure out since Elisa for a while. I don't know how to figure it out. I just know it is what it is, and I don't know. I've tried. Nearly 10 years ago, we lost all of our entertainers. We lost them.
That's true.
Seriously, we lost them. Now, I have tried to recapture them entertainers. I'll be honest with you. I tried to bring them back. Lord, I had the solid gold dancers for a while.